Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, a local attorney, and what you're about to watch is pretrial. Now, pretrial is the third court event in the process towards resolving a criminal case. The first was first appearance, the next was arraignment. Now we have pretrial to determine if the case is ready to proceed to docket day and potentially trial, or if it can't be worked out through plea or even dismissed. At pretrial, though, facts are not as important as they are in other hearings. In this case, it's procedural. The judge is going to bring in their entire docket to make sure that the attorneys are doing what they need to do to get the cases towards a just conclusion. Some of the cases you'll see are older, some are newer. On the older ones, you may see some tension as the judges are trying to make sure the cases are moving forward, but the stakes are getting high. So that's what pretrial is. Let's go see what happens.
State. This is State of Florida versus Timothy Price Williams. Also have Bridget Jensen with the state.
Okay, hold on a second, Art. I think they may not have realized that they were.
I don't believe he was transported.
He was not transported? Okay. You may proceed, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. It's just case numbers 22CF3158 and 22CF3204.
And Your Honor, Casey Etheridge here from Mr. Price Williams and we have Mr. Andrew Benson as well with our office. And Your Honor, we would be asking to continue this case. We have depositions actually scheduled for August 27th. So we're wondering if the court would give us the October date, because I know that we're not going to have anything else to talk about between now and the next date. So
That's true. Any other activity anticipated?
So we intend on getting more depositions scheduled between then and the October, between the August 27th. So hopefully we'll have several things to report at that point in October.
Okay.
That's fine, Your Honor, we have no objection. We're in agreement with you.
Very good. So, do we have our list for dates? You printing off the dates? What's our October date for Inmate?
October 16th.
October 16th.
Okay.
So we'll continue, this matter will be continued until October 16th.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate you all coming all the way over and giving me, I know it's kind of a hassle to come all the way over to just to have a brief hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for moving this case.
Thank you.
Good morning, Council. Tim Shaw, covering for Michael Griffith. His client is present before the court. His name is Tevin Brown, 22 CF 1794. Mr. Griffiths indicated that in that case, he has depositions set for July 26th and would ask for one cycle continuance.
Are those anticipated to be, conclude those?
I got this in third hand. It went to Mr. Flowers. So, Judge, I apologize. I couldn't.
State, do you have any other input? The only reason I'm asking is, we're moving on to close to 2 years, and
Your Honor, I know that these depositions had been set. I don't know if those are the last round of depositions, but I know that Mr. Griffith and Ms. Sandler have been in contact and they've been talking about the case. So I anticipate that on August 14th, the court will get a report whether they'll be ready for trial or whether there's more to do.
okay. And I would just ask that if that when we get together as both the state and the defense, hopefully on the 14th, the court, give the court some kind of a little more definitive where we're at.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
I'll relay it, Judge.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge. You got it. Judge, you want me to go ahead and cover the rest of my?
Let's just do it.
Okay. Excuse me, Judge. First, well,
Are they, they're not under your name, are they?
I have, well, let me see here. No, not,
I couldn't find
They're
any
not,
under your
they're
name.
not.
I assume it's under Flowers?
Susan Cole is under Flowers.
Okay, hold on a second, let me. Okay,
Judge, we'd ask to continue that. We do have deposition set. It's getting pretty close. Ms. Sandler and I have had some discussions about it. So if we just continue at one cycle, we'll let the court know how far out we'd be next docket.
okay, we probably need to bring the inmate out of.
That's what we've been discussing.
What was the case name?
This is Susan Cole.
22 CF 2824.
Susan Cole.
Did Ms. Cole not get transported? So.
Ms. Cole is not transported.
Right, we did waivers on
Okay.
those, Judge.
Very good.
Your Honor, Ms. Sandler was anticipating a continuance in Ms. Cole's case and did let me know their depositions set.
Okay, and again, same thing, and you just indicated that hopefully we'll get some idea of kind of where we're at, a little more.
We'll have
global understanding of kind of where the case is at that time.
I think we'll have a hard date next cycle, Judge. Next case, Judge, I'd like to take is Christopher Davis. It's currently under Mike Flowers' name, but it's getting changed over to mine. That's 22 CF 2402. Court may recall, this is one we had not this case, same defendant, we had a pretrial detention hearing, I believe it was last week on this
Right.
particular matter. We just took this case over and are asking to continue it so I can get up to speed. The state is providing me all the discovery, just in an abundance of caution. I've been receiving it from the prior attorney as well.
State?
That's correct, Your Honor, and Mr. Flowers and Mr. Shaw did just take over Mr. Davis's case, and we do have some work to do.
Okay, we'll continue this till 8:14.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, this is under Mr. Flowers' name, Timothy John Adaway, 22 CF 2171. Mr. Flowers has indicated that he's been talking to Dr. McDonald. We've been waiting on the report. She's wrapping it up according to the email I saw earlier. And I think Ms. Sharp has actually spoke with Dr. McDonald as well, and she's confirmed that. So.
Yeah, Your Honor, I spoke with Dr. McDonald's assistant, and she has several of the cases on a list to write a report, and they reported to me that this was one of them. So I'm hopeful that a report is imminent from Dr. McDonald.
Well, one thing I would just not suggest, offer, is that, if the report comes in and something can be done, something that needs to be done, so we don't have to wait to the full cycle, I'm get it on a miscellaneous docket and let's, whatever, again, there may not be a final resolution, but there might be some interim steps because
Understood,
he's
Judge.
in jail and we don't want to needlessly keep him there. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
So, but other than that, we'll continue this until 8:14. And then you can just note that, waiting.
And I believe lastly, Judge, I was covering for Jay Patel, Jared Stevens.
He is being brought up from downstairs, so there's a lot of movement for that juvenile.
Okay, that's all
I'll
right.
come back up there.
Okay, that's fine. Mr. Garrett,
Good morning, Your Honor.
good morning.
Your Honor, I have two clients on the docket. Both are inmates. The first is Jaron Carson, 24 CF
Hold on,
22.
let's wait, I know. We're quicker than the inmate movement. They shifted around some, but to deal with the juvenile.
Carson. Yeah, you got Carson on the deputy.
Yeah.
Coming right up. This is Mr. Carson.
That's
Okay.
Your Honor, Chris Garrett on behalf of Jaron Carson, 24 CF 220. Your Honor, we did a deposition of the arresting
It's also
officer.
22C of 1778, second case.
Oh, Your Honor, that is the new law violation. I apologize.
I just wanted to make sure both were on the record.
Yes, Your
Go
Honor. Yes,
ahead.
Your Honor. In the new law violation, we did a deposition on May 29th of the arresting officer. I'm waiting on the transcript to come back to file a motion to dismiss one of the counts. We'd request a continuance, I guess, to the next cycles court date. And I anticipate having that motion filed by the end of the week.
Very good. And if you get the motion filed, contact my office and get it set.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, state okay?
Yes, Your Honor, no objection.
Thank you very much.
Your Honor, what would be that next court date?
8/14,
8/14.
August 14th.
We'll do the motion.
But there may be, if there's a motion to dismiss, there may be hearing before then.
Yes, Your Honor. And then Chris Garrett on behalf of Peter Feckery. Chris Garrett on behalf of Peter Feckery, 22 CF 2747. Your Honor, we issued a subpoena ducis tecum for the AV's alleged victims' medical records in mid-May. I spoke with the Fort Walton-Destin Hospital on May 28th, was told it was in process. I called yesterday, left a voicemail, and have not heard back. They use a third-party records keeper. In addition, we did a deposition of the final assisting officer yesterday and need that transcript. We would ask for a continuance. Ideally, Your Honor, if we could get him back in like mid-July for a status to keep the case moving, to see if there's anything that we can work out or just to see where we are.
Okay. Okay, a couple things. Yeah, again, I understand you're saying somebody else is doing something that you can't control. We did announce last time, so that you anticipated it would be resolved, not the case resolved, but that all the preliminaries resolved. Not the case. I understand sometimes it's out of your control. What I would say is we'll just do a full cycle, but if there's something in the interim, you know, there's a motion that needs to be done, or you know,
Yes, Your Honor.
it needs to be. If you guys come to an agreement on a possible plea, then we can get it on a miscellaneous docket. So I don't want to just set it, not knowing what we're setting.
I understand, Your Honor.
Okay, but if there's something that we can action point, then get it on there for sure. We can get it on there. Okay.
Sounds good, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll continue this till 8:14. And it is, you do anticipate this would really be the last continuance,
Your
right?
Honor, the only thing that would affect that is if the hospital doesn't get the medical records to us, so.
Well,
And Judge, on the
stay
state,
on them.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor. Yeah.
on the state side, state is ready whenever defense is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's a squeaky wheel.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor.
You gotta stay on them.
I'll get
Okay,
on.
thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Do they have yours, Mr. Shaw? Which case is it?
Jared Stevens, it's under J. Patel, Judge.
Okay.
Judge, before the court is Jared Stevens, 21 CF 3196. Mr. Stevens, or excuse me, Mr. Patel has indicated that he's just wrapping up the stand your ground motion. I know Ms. Sandler's new on this case, and so I know there's some discussion going on with regard to possible resolution short of that. However, he's asking for August 14th, Judge.
Okay.
And it's ready to go other than that. The court will recall this one was one we had to compel some witnesses to attend, and they did. Several of them did. And then,
Okay. Well, so at least you're making some movement. What I would not suggest, but offer, again, same thing as the last attorney. If there's something, if there's the motions filed, get it set. You might be able to get it set before August, and that's number one. Number two, obviously, if there's a resolution, get it on a miscellaneous docket. We've got a couple in the interim. Try and get some movement on them. We want to move these cases as quickly as they can. We've got enough people sitting around in the jail.
Understood, Judge. Thank you.
I understand. I think that's the last one from Mr. Shaw, so Mr. Updike.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Your Honor, this is Quinton Brown, case 24 CF 747.
Your Honor, this case is under Ms. Izzo's name on the docket, so if the clerk's...
I'm sorry, it's under what?
Ms. Izzo's name, so if you're looking for the case on the docket, it's...
It's correct, it's under Ms. Izzo's name, Your Honor. I did file a notice of appearance, though.
Okay. Hold on a second. Okay, very good. Thank you.
All right, Your Honor,
And did
we're asking
the
today...
clerk get the substitution? You said you did file
I
substitution?
filed a notice of appearance, Your Honor, and I have a copy here as well.
For Mr. Updike. Okay, very good. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, we're just asking that this case be moved to the miscellaneous state for next week. I know that Ms. Izzo has been engaging in some settlement discussions with the state. We're not quite there. But
Why don't we come back for docket day rather than the miscellaneous?
understood. What's the date for that, Your Honor?
That'll be the 17th,
6/17.
next Monday.
That's, that'll be fine, Your Honor.
Okay,
So I'll cell phone, please.
okay,
Okay.
very good, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Mr. Weinstock?
It's, Mr. Weinstock's inmate from Adaway.
Okay, who do we have?
We have Ms. Merrifields and Ms. Dudley's.
Ms. Merrifield? Okay. For some, they don't have yours up yet, Mr. Weinstock. We'll get them up here just shortly.
Armon Waters.
And Judge, my cases are under Mr. Flaherty. I'm going to take them out of order. This is Armon Waters before the court in 23 CF 1101. If the court could give me just a moment to secure some signatures. Judge, we've reached an agreement, if I may approach.
You may.
I do. I have the score sheet with me.
Thank you. The defense okay with the score sheet?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you please announce the agreement?
So Judge, in 23 CF 1101, Mr. Waters is going to enter a no contest plea, withdrawing his previously entered plea of not guilty. He is pleading to the lesser included offense of retail theft in concert with another, and that is pursuant to 812.015 subsection 8D, a third-degree felony. He'd be placed on 24 months of probation, $515 in court cost, the cost of transportation to Okaloosa Sheriff's Office, 50 hours of community service, which may be bought out at the
Do
statute.
we have a figure for those costs of
I do
transportation?
not. The cost of transportation to Okaloosa.
Your Honor, if you'll give me just a second, I will apprise the
Okay,
court.
go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. He would attend an anti-theft course, have no trespassing at any belt location, consume no drugs other than with a valid prescription, possess no firearm, maintain gainful employment or submit 2 job applications per week, and then submit himself to random monthly urinalysis when requested. He does reside out of state, so the state has no objection to his probation being transferred to his home state. There was also a failure to appear at one of the court appearances, and the state is taking no action on that. It would be a withhold of adjudication. The only other request that I would have, Judge, Mr. Waters was arrested on this charge while he was in transit back to his home state. He has been incarcerated for quite some time. He will certainly report to probation, but I would ask for tomorrow morning. We've got some logistics. He does not have contacts in this area, but his family is working with our office so that we can get him to the places he needs to go. We just need a little bit of time to work those details.
I'm not following what you're asking
I
for.
would, typically probation would like them to report today before close of business. I need a little more time, so I'm asking for 8 a.m. tomorrow morning for him to report to probation to begin his probation term so that we can get him to the probation location.
I'm not quite clear why that's necessary, but
Your Honor, I think, obviously this is up to the court, and I think the court would probably defer to probation on this. However, I think what Ms. Merrifield is saying is that he may get released today prior to 5 p.m. However, you're trying to arrange a ride for
That's
him
exactly
to probation. She doesn't know if that's gonna happen because his family, I guess, lives out of state, but that's not something that we normally work with, Your Honor, so I would defer to the court and probation on that issue.
probation?
Normally, we have them report immediately, as long as it's prior to 4 p.m. If it's going to be after 4 p.m., then 8 a.m. the next morning. There's also, just a reminder that he's got the $100
Yes, sir.
Transfer application fee for the back house.
Yes.
Okay. The court will allow him to do it by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Judge.
And Your Honor, the Sheriff's Office is requesting $152.52 in reimbursement for transport fees.
What is it?
$152.52.
Okay.
And that does not change his position on entering the plea, Judge, that
Mr. Waters, would you raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just one point of clarification. So, and I assume your attorney's gone over this with you, but I just want to make sure. It says, you know, your plea agreement says that you reside out of state, that's fine. And the state has no objection to probation transferring to your state. But neither the state, nor the defense, nor the court have any control over that. There's a certain procedure, that's why probation just said, you know, they ought to make sure and let you know it costs, there's $100 application fee. Generally, they'll work with you, but that's up to them. Just want to make sure you're clear that it's not part of the plea agreement that you're going to be able to do your probation out of state.
Yes, sir.
Don't think there'll be a problem. Not saying there is going to be a problem, but I can't make any promises again. I got no control over it, nor does the state, nor unfortunately even your defense counsel. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Just want to make sure you're clear about that. So you heard your attorney state the terms of, is the state in agreement on all this?
That was the state's
Okay.
agreement.
You heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement, and I see that you have signed the written plea agreement that contains that.
Yes, sir.
Have you read this closely, and have you gone over it in detail with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
You understand that by waiving, by entering into this plea agreement, you're waiving some valuable legal rights, the right to go to a trial, the right to force the state to prove their case, constitutional rights. You're waiving those in order to get a final resolution here today.
Yes, sir.
You believe that's in your best interest?
Yes, sir.
You're doing that freely and voluntarily.
Yes, sir.
Have you had all your legal questions answered?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Based upon that, the court will accept your plea, and it will be to a lesser included offense of retail theft in concert with another, and it's got the statutory cite in the plea agreement. You are today to be sentenced to 24 months probation with the standard cost and the cost of transportation that's included in the plea agreement, and the other fairly standard provisions, community service, anti-theft course. Importantly is no trespass at Belk. Stay away from Belk, don't go near their properties. They'll violate you in a New York second on that one, okay?
Yes, sir.
So, any other questions?
None to see.
Okay, thank you very much.
And then Judge, going back up to the top of my list, I have Roman Hike in 24 CF 72. Mr. Hike has been released, so he is no longer an inmate. There is a waiver on file for him.
Okay.
This is Ms. Bossow's case. We have discussed it multiple times. We are working on getting some reports back on some various evaluations of Mr. Hike. There are some unique circumstances here, so I would be requesting a continuance for Mr. Hike.
And Your Honor, Ms. Basso was expecting a continuance, and it looks like this is a relatively new case.
Very good. We'll continue this matter until 8/12. That's the one without the inmates.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay,
And that is all I have this morning.
very good. Ms. Dudley?
We're going to swap Ms. Dudley and Mr. Gabriel.
Okay, Mr. Durrell.
This is Tevin Bellinger.
And then I think they'll get yours, Mr. Weinstock. You're going to get Mr. Weinstock's?
They're taking them down and bringing more upstairs right now.
Okay, thank you.
May it please the court, Justin Durrell. Your Honor, my first client today is Mr. Tevin Bellinger. We do have a written plea. If I can approach you.
Okay.
The state will have to provide this for a few later.
Thank you. Is it can you verify that it's not a downward departure?
Your Honor, it is going to be a downward departure of a couple of months. His lowest permissible sentence is 13 months and some change, but this is going to be based on a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, Mr. Bellinger would withdraw his previously entered plea of not guilty in 23 CF 1567 and enter a plea of no contest. as charged, with the agreement that he would be sentenced to 1129 Okaloosa County Jail, credit for time served. Standard fines and costs, we would ask for, or the plea agreement contemplates 180 days after release to pay those fines and costs. In 22 CF 2740, Mr. Bellinger would admit the violation, the understanding that he be sentenced to 1129 Okaloosa County Jail, credit for all time served, concurrent with 23 CF 1567.
Very good. Mr. Bellinger, would you raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Sharpless, is that agreement?
That is the state's agreement, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Bellinger, you heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement, and I see those same terms are contained in the written plea agreement that you've signed. So just want to make sure you've read this closely, gone over it in detail with your attorney.
Yes, sir.
And you understand that by entering into this plea, you're waiving some valuable legal rights. Most important is the right to go to a trial and force the state to prove their case. You're waiving those rights to have a final resolution of this matter.
Yes, sir.
You believe that's in your best interest?
Yes, sir.
And you're entering this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Based upon that, the court will accept your plea. And as to 23 CF 1567, there'll be an adjudication of guilt, and you'll be sentenced to 11 months, 29 days, Okaloosa County Jail. You will get credit for all time served, standard court costs and fees, which you'll have 180 days after you get out to pay, and then it'll go to a lien. The other case, 22 CF 2740, again, that's a VOP. You're admitting the violation. Court will revoke and terminate probation. You'll be sentenced to 11 months, 29 days in county jail, credit for time served. It will be concurrent with the other case. So you're running those together.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And so when you get out, you will not be on probation. Okay, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next I have Mr. John Paul Burgos Jimenez. Your Honor, we're requesting a continuance of Mr. Burgos' case. He has another felony case on the north end that is currently being transferred down here. I don't have discovery in that one. I do have some of the discovery in the current case, but I just need a continuance to get
This is a
everything.
brand new case. The court will continue until 8/14.
Thank you, Your Honor. Next, Your Honor, is Mr. Alejandro Javier Del Toro Ortega. And Your Honor, we do have a written plea in this one, if I may refer to it to announce the terms.
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor. In case number 24 CF 834, Mr. Del Toro would withdraw his previously entered plea of not guilty and enter a plea of no contest to counts 1 and 3, with the understanding that the state would dismiss counts 2 and 4, that is tampering with evidence and DWLSR. So he's pleading to the possession of controlled substance and possession of paraphernalia. That is count 1 and 3. Count 1, the possession of controlled substance, he will be sentenced to 2 years drug offender probation, followed by 1 year of standard probation, be required to obtain a substance abuse evaluation and any recommended treatment, $615 in court costs, 48 hours of community service. Count 3 would be 1 year probation concurrent with count 1. In case 23 CF 2377, he would withdraw his previously entered plea of not guilty and enter a plea of no contest. This would be as charged, Your Honor. Count 1, possession of paraphernalia, is 1 year probation. Count 2, possession of controlled substance, is 2 years drug offender probation, followed by 1 year standard probation. And count 3, driving while license suspended, is 1 year probation. All counts in 23 CF 2377 are concurrent with each other and with 24 CF 834, if I may approach.
You may.
Your Honor, that is the state's agreement.
Very good, thank you.
And the state will have to submit an amended score sheet since they're dismissing counts 2 and 4.
And are, is this a downward departure? Just need to put that on the record.
It is not, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Sir, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you heard your attorney, put your hand down. You heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement. I see those same terms are contained in the written plea agreement that you've signed. Just want to make sure, have you read this closely, gone over it in detail with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Had all your legal questions answered about it?
Yes, sir.
Importantly, you're waiving some valuable legal rights, the right to go to a trial, force the state to prove their case. You're waiving those in order to get a final resolution. Is that what you want to do here today?
Yes, sir.
You're entering this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Based upon that testimony, the court will accept your plea here today. In case number 24 CF 834, count 1, you'll be sentenced to 2 years drug offender probation followed by 1 year standard probation, and you must importantly get a substance abuse evaluation and follow through with treatment. Do we want to put any timelines on that?
But typically sign up within 30 days and start treatment within 60, Your Honor. I apologize, that should have been on there.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you to put it on in just a second. Yeah, go ahead. If not, you got 3 years probation, and technically he wouldn't. You'd have 3 years.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's important that you get going on that stuff, so we'll put it in writing, right?
Thank you.
And states an agreement on all this.
That's
right?
correct, Your Honor. States an agreement.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure. So, again, you've got to engage in a substance abuse evaluation and whatever, within 30 days after you get out, or get it scheduled within that, and then start any kind of treatments if they, depending on what they say, follow through on those treatments and start those within 60. That's very standard. That's standard court costs, 48 hours community service. As to count 2 and count 4, state's dismissing those 2 on this, okay? And the third count, which is a possession of paraphernalia, there'll be 1 year probation, and again, that's concurrent with the count number 1. And the other case, 23 CF 2377, count 1, which is the possession of paraphernalia, 1 year probation, again, parallel in the other one, the possession of controlled substance, which is count 2, 2 years drug offender probation, followed by 1 year standard probation, count 3, 1 year probation. All these are concurrent with each other, so we've listed all of them. But even so basically, the longest probation is the 2 years drug offender plus 1, so that's 3. That's really the outer limits, but all these are running parallel to each other. Okay, is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions regarding any of this?
No, sir.
Okay, good luck. Make sure and stay in good contact. One advice, stay in good contact with the probation officer. You got to get over there immediately today and get that, but stay in touch. It's a simple advice, but the difference between getting it done and being back here. You don't need to be back here. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Your Honor, last I have today is Mr. Marat Lewis.
Oh, here it is. It was hiding.
Your Honor, we're requesting a continuance in Mr. Lewis's case. I've received transcripts from the depositions. I'm working on a motion this. A couple of the counts, the state has added some counts and some additional witnesses, which may require additional depositions. So we request a continuance to get that motion filed and do a little research to see if I need to depose the new witnesses listed.
State, I assume, don't have any
Your Honor,
objections.
that's what we discussed, and the state doesn't object.
We'll continue this matter until August 14th at 9 a.m.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Okay. And I believe that's all I have.
That's all you got, I think.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So which one do we have, Mr. Ms. Dudley, you're up. I don't know why they can't get yours, Mr. Weinstock. So are we getting Weinstocks up after these?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Asher. Well, I can take Mr. Beltran, he's here. This is Mr. Damian Beltran in 22 CF 2552 and 22 CF 3063. We have filed motions in both cases. I have,
What's the motion?
motion to dismiss in both. I have contacted your office, we're just waiting for a response to get those scheduled.
Okay.
So I would ask for a continuance to the next cycle, and hopefully we can get that resolved before then. And I have explained it to Mr. Beltran.
State?
Your Honor, that's the state's understanding.
We'll continue this matter till 8:14, and you just follow my office to get it scheduled. The
Yes, sir.
motions. So you're going to schedule both at the same time, the two
Yes, sir.
motions to dismiss? Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Your Honor, so if we can handle Mr. Asher real quick, as Mr. Creech is approaching. Justin Asher in 23 CF 2681 and 24 CF 248, there's a waiver on file for Mr. Asher. I did talk to him last night, so that's probably why I did ask him not to transport him.
Sure.
Because there's a waiver. We have depositions set, I believe, on July 29th and August 2nd. Sorry, that's for continuance.
Okay.
No objection, Your Honor.
We'll continue this till 8:14.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Joseph Creech and 15 CF 2837.
I do not have that on my docket. Creech, there you
Creech,
go.
yes,
Got
sir.
it.
15
Thought it
CF
was a C, I assumed it was a C.
Yes, sir, it's a
Okay.
K. Yes, sir.
All right.
15 CF 2837, 23 CF 1773, and 23 CF 2749. We are waiting for some fingerprints on one of the cases. We are also going to file a motion to suppress in one of the cases and get the state a counteroffer. So I'd ask for continuance in the next cycle. Obviously, we can get it resolved, we'll bring it back sooner.
State?
I would agree with that, Judge. Ms. Dudley and I are working the case.
Very good. We'll continue this matter till 8:14 and 9 a.m.
Tyler Meritt.
This is Tyler Meritt and 21 CF 2937 and 22 CF 2894. I believe we just received an additional report. We did do depositions, but at depositions, the case officer had no knowledge about anything involving the case as far as the search goes. And then the other case officers don't work with the sheriff's office, so they did not appear. The state said they sent an additional report. I have not downloaded it yet, giving me all the witnesses for this case. So I will have to do depots on that. So I would have to ask for a continuance to try to get that done.
So the report is just being provided to you?
So the report they gave me was written by the case officer, but he wasn't present on scene. He didn't conduct the search. He didn't do anything on that actual charges on Mr. Meritt. The search warrant was really for somebody else who was prosecuted federally. And Mr. Meritt is charged based on what they say they found in the room that they believe is his. But there were no witnesses provided that can tell me how they know or believe it's his room and how they can prove that he had knowledge and made control over those drugs. So none of those witnesses have been provided as of when I did depositions. The report provided was by an officer who had done nothing in that search. And I found that out in depositions.
My question is just that seems to be a little bit late to the party to be providing that information.
Your Honor, can we approach?
Sure.
Man, I got this. Let's roll.
Fight fire with fire, take one.
Have you been injured in an accident and need righteous representation? Call us, because we fight fire. Damn thing ain't working. Whoa! Not cool, bro.
I'm attorney Coy Browning. Personal injury is no joke. Just ask him.
Injured? Take a breath. Call Coy.
Check out the soaps, bath bombs, and other bath and body products, all made by hand with natural ingredients at Hub City Soapery. Visit us at 1092 North Verdon Boulevard in Crestview or shop online at hubcitysoapery.com. Hub City Soapery.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestviewagent.com.
Alex. Where is this?
I think he does have another case under no attorney, Your Honor.
What's that?
I think he does have another case under no attorney.
It's under no attorney, is that why?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Are
Yes,
you
sir.
representing it?
They're
That's what
going-
the
I'm gonna
clerk
talk to
was
him.
asking me about. It's
Yes, sir.
24 CF 522.
Yes, Your
Are you
I'm
going
gonna
to
contact this family today, and if we could just track it with these cases on the
Okay.
next cycle, Your Honor.
That'd be great. Thank you very much. Okay, so we'll continue this till 8:14. Hopefully, there'll be some movement.
Yes, sir, and I did explain to him if I don't get information, we'll maybe back.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's your right.
Your Honor, this is Nazir Ryder, 23 CF 321. The state did provide finally the social media stuff. I did review that. We want to leave a separate docket day for the state to look at what I provided and what we talked about. And at that point, if not, we'll set a motion hearing if we don't have it resolved by Monday.
Very good. So we'll continue this till docket day, which is 6/17, 9 a.m.
Yeah, and I believe it does have another, I don't know if it's on the docket, is the other case on the docket or not, is it? It does have another case of Mr. Niddle, so I guess he would need to hang around until Mr. Niddle appears. So I have not heard from him.
I haven't seen Mr. Niddle this morning.
Okay, if you'll hold him. Good. Okay, we'll bring you back up when Mr. Niddle gets here.
Yeah, Mr. Niddle may be in another courtroom.
Sure, that's all right.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I do have some that were out of custody that we skipped over.
Okay.
I have Gregory Irvin in 23 CF 2532.
Okay.
We did depositions, I'm waiting on deposition transcripts based on what was said at depots, so I'd ask for continuance.
No objection.
So we'll continue this till 8:12,
Yes, sir.
because they're out of custody.
Yes, sir. Next, I have Xavier Givens in 24 CF 288. On Mr. Givens' case, we just got deposition dates yesterday for August 2nd, so I would ask for continuance.
Continue this till August 12th.
Your Honor, the next case is Anjali Johnson. She was an inmate, but I asked her not to be transported. I talked to her last night.
Okay.
She's in 15 CF 2330, 23 CF 1991. We have made a counteroffer to the state for the violation of probation, and they're looking at the new law case, so we leave it set for docket day to see if we can get it resolved.
Very good. We'll continue this till docket day 6/17 at 9 a.m.
And Judge, we would ask that be set plea continue.
Very good.
Thank you.
Clear, continue.
The next case I have is William Killingsworth in 23 CF 2156. He is an inmate as well. There's a waiver on file. We have received a reciprocal this morning, so maybe some additional discovery this morning, and we need to continue some more depositions before we file our senior ground motion. So I'd ask for continuance.
Continue till 8:14.
And I believe that's all I have.
I think that's all you got.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's see if yours are ready, Mr. Weinstock. Is Mr. Weinstock's ready?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr.
Just
Weinstock.
staying with Mr. Weinstock.
Okay.
Your Honor, Michael Weinstock on behalf of Mr. DeShane, 24 CF 399, 24 CF 388. I request continuance till the October date.
No objection.
August date?
Sure. August 8 or 14.
August 14th.
No objection.
Where are we at? What's going on in the case?
Well, I do have some depositions scheduled for the, I think, July 9th.
July 9th. Okay.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. So, just want to make sure it's moved. Thank you.
Your Honor, approaching is Quayshawn Jenkins, 23 CF 2706. I request a continuance to August the 14th also.
Okay.
No objection, Your Honor.
And what's going on with this case?
Well, I just recently got the case, Your Honor. So it's kind of new to me. It came from, I think, from Brad Stewart and Marty Noakes, then to Weinstock. So give me a chance to get familiar.
Okay. So when you come back in August, hopefully we'll be able to get some idea of what's going on.
All right, that's all I have, Judge.
Good. Thank you. Miss Graham?
Joseph Graham with Miss Graham.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Trisha Graham on behalf of Joseph Graham. He's here on two cases, 22 CF 1985 and 22 CF 2383. Your Honor, we do have an update on the competency, if you recall.
I saw that.
Okay, you had opportunity to review the report. I spoke with Mr. Lasco, who's reviewed the report as well. Dr. McDonald has deemed him competent to proceed. And there's more details in the report as to that. You've reviewed that. Based on that information, I reviewed that with my client as well. Both the state and defense would stipulate that Mr. Graham is competent to proceed and he'd like to proceed with court today.
That's correct, Judge. The state would stipulate to the report, finding him competent to proceed.
Court will order him competent to proceed.
Judge, we do have a plea agreement signed and ready to go today. The prior offer that was extended was 18 months DOC. He certainly has that in at this time, so we have a signed agreement ready to go.
And Your Honor, it's a plea for time served. I have the dates from credit from 8/1/2022 and 9/4/2022.
Okay. I don't, that's up, if you all make that calculation, that's fine. It's not part of the plea agreement, though.
Okay.
I mean, it's credit for time served, but I don't know what the numbers are.
Okay. Well, I'll, if I may, go through the plea.
You may, please.
At this time, Mr. Graham would like to withdraw his previously entered plea of not guilty and enter into a plea of no contest as to case 22 CF 1985, count 1, possession of a controlled substance, will be adjudicated as charged, and in count 2, possession of a controlled substance, part of the plea negotiation, the state will dismiss count 2, will be null prost. And in case 2022 CF, I apologize, let me go back, 2022 CF 1985, he will be adjudicated as to count 1, receive time, be sentenced to time served, credit from August 1st, 2022, all counts cases to run concurrent, and pay $615 court costs. As to case 2022 CF 2383, he will be pleading no contest to count 1 as charged, be adjudicated, sentenced to time served with credit from September 4th, 2022. All counts cases to run concurrent with $967 court costs. PSI would be waived. If I may approach with the written plea agreement, Your Honor. If I just may have a moment, we did meet again yesterday and then this morning to confirm. Just going to have him sign the paperwork.
And while he signs, Judge, the state would just say that this is a downward departure based on a plea negotiation.
Your Honor, just for clarification, are we going to do a DOC sentence or just a time served straight sentence? There's a difference.
The intention is a straight time served sentence with the intention for him to be released today. He served well over the minimum guidelines score, so technically he served well over the score. But since we're not doing DOC, the intention is for time served if that's acceptable to the court, and I believe that was with the state.
That's correct. Did he, Ms. Graham, did he serve over the guideline score? Is that what you said? Because I thought this was a downward departure based on a plea agreement.
He served well over the time that the score is 26.4 months, and he served well over that amount of time.
Okay, so I apologize, Judge, when I said it was a downward departure.
Okay.
Just for clarification, so there's no confusion with DOC, he's not going to DOC to be processed and then get credit from there. That's why it's written as time served, so he could be time served and released today from the jail.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Madam Clerk, for the clarification.
And Judge, just for the record, that way it's clear, the state would stipulate that he has served that time, and he would be eligible for release today.
Very good. Thank you.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
I do have the score sheet that was crossed out with the count that's been dismissed, and we will read that.
Okay. So, Mr. Graham, would you please raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you heard your attorney state the terms of the plea agreement. It's basically credit for time served, and it's written up in this written plea agreement that you've just signed. Just want to make sure that you've gone over this in detail with your attorney. Make sure you had all your legal questions answered about it. It is a credit for time served, so you'll be getting out today, but it does have other legal issues. There's going to be, an adjudication of guilt and other things that are contained within it. So I just want to make sure you've had all your legal questions answered by your attorney.
I do, Your Honor.
Okay. And obviously, you're entering into this freely and voluntarily.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Based upon that, the court will accept your plea agreement here today on 22 CF 1985. There'll be an adjudication of guilt as to count 1. You will get credit. You're getting credit for time served. And on 22, and count 2 is going to be dismissed, null pros by the state. 22 CF 2383, which is just 1 count. You'll be as charged, and you're going to be adjudicated guilty. And again, you will get credit for time served, and you will be eligible for release, and the credit on 1985 will be from 8/1/22, and on the credit on 2383 is credit from September 4th, 22. So all counts are going to run concurrent, and you've got standard court costs. And how many days does he have to pay those? At least 180 days, maybe? Why don't you put that in there? So what we're going to do, you've got some fees and costs that are due. We're going to give you 6 months, 180 days, to pay those before it goes to a lien. That could affect the potential with your driver's license, so you want to try and pay those within those 6 months if at all possible. Okay?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Very good. Anything else from the state?
No, Judge.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Your Honor. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
This is what I heard. Can I tell you a moment? 180 days to pay court costs. Is that still good? You signed it?
Thank you.
Next, Your Honor, I have Javante Mcpherson in case
23 CF 2584.
Thank you, Judge. I've spoken with Ms. Sharpless on this. It's still ongoing discovery. We have to coordinate depositions with a co-defendant. We ask that this matter be continued one cycle.
Very good. Court does note it's relatively recent. We'll continue this till 8:14 at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Stayed in agreement.
Yes, Your Honor, no objection.
And that concludes my cases.
Ms. Graham, would you approach on another matter?
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
For years, I proudly served Florida as a state trooper. During that time, I investigated over 1,000 car, motorcycle, and trucking crashes. My mission was simple, to help the victims. Now, as an injury attorney, I can do even more to help accident victims. Hi, I'm attorney Coy Browning. If you've been injured in a car accident, I'd be honored to help you. Call or visit us at browninglawfirm.com.
I've got Mr. Gilbert next, but we get Ms. Brad up. Gilbert's not ready. Come on. You gotta be quick, Mr. Gilbert. Oh, I didn't see you there. Brad jumped you.
May it please the court?
We'll get you next, Mr. Gilbert.
Your Honor, Brad Stewart. Judge, I'm covering for both Powell. This is Samuel Jones.
Okay.
Before the court in 22 CF 2128. It is my understanding that Mr. Jones has previously entered a plea and is pending sentencing before this court. And Mr. Powell and the state tentatively scheduled this, I believe, for July 17th.
Okay.
He will file a notice in that regard.
So is he scheduled for July 17th, Madam Clerk?
I believe your JA was waiting to hear back from the state.
Well,
Is it in the afternoon or in the morning? It's in the afternoon. If it's in the morning,
I presume it's the afternoon.
It would be if there, unless there's an agreed upon sentence, if there's arguments. Then
I believe it's argument, Judge. He was requesting 1.5 hours for the sentencing, so there's a presentation.
Judge,
Okay.
it's set for, on our calendar, it says 9 a.m. I was emailing my...
For July 17th? So you have, no?
That looks correct. It's set for a 3-hour sentencing on July 17th at 9 a.m.
That is incorrect. Well, unless we don't have our regular, is that, hold on.
I'll have a file notice.
Okay. And Judge, the reason we're not uniform on this is because as of this morning, I don't think it was set as of this morning.
Your Honor, on my calendar, I have that as an 8-hour miscellaneous motion day for Your Honor, so I think that might have been added date to your calendar. I'm not sure about that. I think that's what's going on here.
So I'm totally confused. Why don't we just do a status on 8/14, and then you all coordinate with my judicial office. It looks like it's gonna, Mr. Jones, it's not gonna be 8/14, but we don't know what it is. We just wanna make sure we've got a date on here. It looks like you guys are coordinating with Miss Eileen, and you guys can continue to do that.
We are, Judge, thank you.
Okay. Normally it's in the afternoon unless occasionally we do full days. Because we're trying to add these lengthier hearings to get them done.
I'll confirm that with Mr. Powell, make sure he files the appropriate notice, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, my next client
What you need to make sure, not that he does the notice, that he coordinates and make sure and confirm the date with Eileen. That's what you want.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then do the notice.
My understanding is that has already been done. It's just with this to confirm.
Well, he just said it was a day. He gave me a date that's not even on the calendar for miscellaneous. We don't have a July 17th.
As of this morning, I don't believe it was even set. When I was emailing my assistant while we were talking about other cases earlier, she was on the phone with Miss Eileen. So I'm sure this will shake out. We just need to.
I understand. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Martavius Sor before the court, Judge, 23 CF 167-2585 and 2641, Judge. I have filed a motion to withdraw Mr. Sor's cases as irreconcilable differences has arisen in this scenario that has eroded the attorney-client relationship, Judge. It appears that Mr. Sor has filed a complaint with the Florida Bar. Unfortunately, I cannot proceed forward given those circumstances. Mr. Sor does need a conflict-free attorney. I would be happy to provide an order to the court relieving myself and appointing someone else.
Certainly you can't continue. Are you appointed?
I was appointed, Your Honor.
Just file it and we'll deal with it.
I've filed it, Judge, and I'll submit that order to the court.
Okay. We'll
Do I need to
continue
set-
this till 8/14 for today.
Do I need to set that specifically for a hearing, Your Honor?
Just file it and check with my office.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm not sure. Okay.
Your Honor, that's all I have for the court, ma'am. Excuse.
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Gilbert.
Chester Cooper with Mr. Gilbert.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Michael Gilbert on behalf of Chester Cooper and 23 CF 2294, who is present. We have a bond hearing scheduled for tomorrow and a motion to suppress hearing scheduled for 10 July. So we request a continuance.
Okay.
Your Honor, that's the state's understanding.
So we'll just continue this on a regular the full cycle at 8/14, and the other ones will be, we'll just make sure we've got it on our regular calendar. The other two hearings will be held as you've got them scheduled.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I think that's all you got. Thank you. Mr. Noakes.
Judge, I think the first case I have is Brian Patrick Alexander. Judge, we've got a plea agreement worked out. If we bring him in and we'll have him sign it.
This is Brian Alexander.
Thank you.
Okay. Correct.
You may. Thank you. Would you please announce the terms, Mr. Noakes?
I will, Your Honor. So Judge, he's got two case numbers. One case number that's on your docket this morning is 24 CF 626. He's also got another case number on a future docket, which is 24 CF 1121. Judge, this plea would resolve both of those case numbers.
Okay.
It's the understanding that he'd be adjudicated guilty on all charges and case numbers and counts. He would receive 12.1 community control, followed by 12.1 standard probation.
Is that for each of the charges?
I don't know how we have to do that exactly.
Well, you've got one.
Whichever way it legally needs to be done. I mean, it could be on one case number and then 12.1 consecutive on the second case number.
You've got two of them. You've got possession of a controlled substance.
Right.
So that's fine. You've got driving on a suspended license, which is a misdemeanor.
What would you say?
Oftentimes we just do credit for time served.
That's what the state is asking.
Yeah, that's just the easiest thing, and then you can have the 12.1 and just make sure that it's, say that they're concurrent with each other, each of the two 12.1.
Can we ask the state to approach?
Of course.
Sure.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
So Your Honor, on the driving on suspended driver's license of the case, which I believe is count 2 of 24-11-21.
Correct.
That's going to be adjudicated credit for time served.
Okay. And then the other two charges are both possession of a controlled substance, and the sentence is
12.1 community control on the first case, community of the controlled substance, and then that's adjudicated with the standard court cost and what have you. And then on the second community possession of controlled substance in the second case number, it's going to be followed by 12.1 probation. So it's going to have 2 years of supervision.
very good. And as a condition of that, I note that there's a substance abuse evaluation and any treatment, 48 hours community service. These are all very standard with legal assistance fee and court costs. That's correct?
And Your Honor, that is the state's agreement. This is a downward departure based on a legitimate plea agreement.
It is a departure?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And the state will be submitting the score sheet this week.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Alexander, would you please raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm that the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, so you heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement, and I see those same terms are contained in the written plea agreement that you've signed. So my first question is, did you read this closely, go over it in detail with your attorney?
Extensive detail, yes, sir.
And make sure you had all your legal questions, because there's a lot of legal stuff in here.
Yes, sir.
You're waiving some valuable legal rights, the right to go to a trial, to contest all this, force the state to prove they're waiving all that so you can have a final adjudication here today. You believe that's in your best interest?
I know it's in my
and
best
you're entering into it freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good. Based upon that testimony, the court will accept your plea agreement. And as to 24 CF 626, the court will adjudicate you, you're adjudicated guilty on that. And you're sentenced to 12.1 months community control, followed by 12.1 standard probation. And then on the count 1 of 1121, 24 CF 1121, it's again 12.1 community control followed by 12.1 standard. So is it a total?
Total of 2 years. The 12.1 community control.
Because it says followed by 12.1 standard.
I'll tweak it, yes.
Yeah. So it's intended to be a total of 2 years, or?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Supervision is for 2 years. So first 12.1 is community control, second 12.1 is standard.
Okay. Yep. Okay. But you got to make clear that you need to adjudicate one community control, adjudicate the other standard, and they'll be run consecutive to each other. So we just have to make sure.
That's not the deal.
So we just have to be very clear in the writing, because you're going to be held to this. We want you to be clear.
I totally
so
understand.
sometimes it's trickier to actually put it into writing clearly to make sure that everybody understands.
I was a law clerk in DOC for a bit, so I kind of understand how if the language is wrong, it can.
So one thing I would say to you, that you do understand, I'm asking you this question, is community control. It's a much higher level of this. You know, I know everyone wants to get out. Hey, we're all clear. This isn't the end. This is the beginning. You're gonna have to stay on top of this community control. I don't like the term community control. I like the term house arrest, because that's what it really is. That's what it is.
House arrest without a monitor, yes, sir.
That's exactly right. And so you got to stay in good contact. You got to get up every morning and make sure you're clear on this, so you don't end up back with an orange.
Yes, sir. I've already got work set up and everything. I'm gonna have a full schedule when I get out, so
Okay.
it's gonna be 8 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night, working every day, 2 jobs. So it's,
sometimes that's the very best thing to do.
yes, sir. It's gonna be the best thing for me.
Okay. Very good. So you have any questions concerning this? So the key thing is, you'll, on the first count, on 24 CF 626, you're being sentenced to 12.1 community control. The other count, 24 CF 1121, you'll get 12.1 of standard probation.
Yes, sir.
Those will run back to back. They're not run together, not concurrent, they're consecutive. So it's basically total of 2 years, substance abuse evaluation and treatment, and then the 48 hours community service, standard court costs and fees, and you can buy back the community service if you so choose. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you, Mr.
Judge, the next case I have is Christopher Ballou. Judge, this is the gentleman that had to be transported over to, they come and picked him up and took him to Escambia County on, I think, a felony petty theft charge.
Right.
That's still pending over there. It's currently set for June 19th, so I asked the state if they're okay with just continuing this.
So he's still over there?
Yes, sir.
So I assume the state's okay, we'll just continue this till 8/14?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
8/14?
Yes, sir.
Judge, the next case I have, he's an inmate, Rashad Hawkins. Judge, Mr. Hawkins, we need to do some discovery depositions in his case.
This is a brand-new case, so the court will continue this till 8/14.
Thank you, Judge. Be back up and talk to you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're done with him.
You done with him?
Yeah. Judge, the next case I have is Gabrielle Johnson. Judge, this was an oddity. She was in custody when this docket was prepared, but we were able to get her out. The
Okay.
state stipulated, so I think we just need to reschedule her for the out of custody date.
That's fine. So this is a brand new case, so we'll just continue it to the 8/12. Is the state okay with that?
Yes, Your Honor, the state has no objection.
Okay.
Judge, I think I've got, the next case, Rozelle Payton.
Correct.
Judge, we need to continue Mr. Payton's case. There's some co-defendants. I don't think I've been involved since day one, but we did have a long list of discovery depositions. And then Dustin Durrell has one of the co-defendants.
So are we progressing regarding the discovery? You say you've had some depositions already?
Yes, and there's more, Your Honor. There were some witnesses added after those discovery depositions. There were some witnesses added by the state. And Mr. Durrell, I think, got the transcripts from the first round of depositions, and I think he's going to be scheduling another round. And Mr. Durrell said he had a motion he had to file. He was going to file once all the depositions are taken. I don't know that Mr. Noakes is going to do that same thing, but he may want to take the additional depositions and then decide whether he's going to file a motion or not.
Very good. But in any event, it needs to be continued till 8/14.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I'll be in touch. Judge, the next case I have is William Thornton.
He refused transport, is what I told you about earlier.
So Judge, I don't know what you want to do on Mr. Thornton's case, other than I was going to ask to continue it because I need to take depositions on his last case.
I mean, if he refused to come, there's nothing we can do. We're not going to force him to come, but he has a right to be here. He doesn't have an obligation. Generally, when they're in jail, they don't really.
So if we just put him on for 8/14, and I'll proceed with the discovery depositions.
Very good.
Judge, I'm also covering for Jeremy Keach. He tells me that there's Mr. Flores on the docket. Corinne Flores.
We got two
Correct.
cases under Mr. Keach, we didn't know about substitution, so they're not going to be detailed.
Okay, that's fine. So just let me know when they're here, and I'll step up and cover. Judge,
Okay, just let me know.
additionally, I was told today by your JA that I had been appointed yesterday to Samantha Jo Hill, and there's a detention hearing, she said today, but I think it's on Thursday.
Pretrial?
Pretrial detention?
If there's a pretrial, it's not today. It's Thursday. All of ours are on the Thursday docket. So if you'll just follow up with her and make sure and get the case and whatnot. We'll probably, likely would be either there'll be a bond or there'll be a continuation. You know how it goes, so.
Judge, my problem is that I'm leaving at 3:47 on a jet.
Can you get somebody else to check with the state if they're not proceeding, if they're gonna do a continuance, if somebody can just announce the continuance.
Okay.
If they're just announcing a bond, somebody can argue a bond for you. We're not gonna have the full-blown.
Samantha Hill.
I was literally appointed like.
I understand that. And the state,
And Judge,
the state isn't gonna go for a full-blown hearing on one day's notice either.
This is Ms. Hill. She went first time last week.
Okay.
Is that correct, Judge?
I don't know.
I believe she went for the first time last week. We'll just seek a continuance, that way he can get up to speed. And the
Okay.
state will file its motion.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
Just announce it on that day and just remind me of this.
You're not gonna be there tomorrow?
I'm not here.
Okay, I'll remind the court. This is Hill.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Good morning, Your Honor. Keith Kilpatrick representing Edgar Doubleday. Couple cases. Case numbers 23 CF 2672, 23 CF 2448, and 21 CF 2592. These are cases that I actually got from Jeff Airwood, and I went ahead and did the substitution counsel. I think it was my staff did it around June 5th.
Okay.
So we're asking for continuance to 8/14. I talked to my client. He doesn't have any objection. He understands the circumstances. So we'd ask for
Very good.
August 14th.
Court will continue this till 8/14.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll be at this.
Hi, Judge.
Hello, Mr. Catalinic. Good morning.
Judge, I have one case, Jose Barahona-Figueroa. You just need an interpreter for him.
Madam Clerk, would you swear the interpreter?
Please state your name. Do you agree to accurately translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to English the matters before the court? I do. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Catalinic?
Yes, Your Honor. Randy Catalinic on behalf of Mr. Jose Barahona-Figueroa.
And go slow so she can interpret.
Case number 23 CF 2463. Your Honor, we had deposition scheduled on May 31st, which was a week ago. The two main officers on the case, the only two officers at HP, didn't show up to the depositions. We had them rescheduled, we tried to get them in, we couldn't get them in, and I believe that we do have a date right now, which is September 13th. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
We can't get them before September 13th?
Your Honor, I give dates, and then my assistant gives out the dates that she can give people in the order that she receives request, Your Honor. So if
Yeah,
September.
but he gets bumped because they didn't show. He should get priority. Anyway, I just hate to, we're talking 3 months. Because they didn't show. Seems like an unreasonable. You can't get them before then? Can we
Your
try?
Honor, I can't tell the court right now that I can move those depositions.
Okay, would you try? Because it seems to be unfair. They didn't show, it's not Mr. Catalinic, his client's sitting in jail. And
Yes,
now
Your
we've got
Honor,
3 months we have to wait.
Yes, Your Honor,
I understand things happen, but that's just not reasonable. So see if you can get it bumped, that's all I'm
Yes,
asking. Work with her, see if she can get it a little sooner.
So we're gonna set it for?
We're gonna continue to set a regular thing. Let's set it for 8/14 because.
Yes, sir.
If it doesn't show, just make sure it's being moved. So I need some push from the court.
Yes, sir, I agree.
Okay?
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Do you have another one?
I do with Ms. Vargas.
They are not here yet.
Okay.
They're still, CJ.
Okay. Generally, we will bring Ms. Farkas back, her clients in the afternoon. Are you going to be around? Or, I mean, I'll do it as soon as they come.
I do have a conflict this afternoon, Your Honor. The request was for 9 a.m. And Madam Interpreter had other commitments in the afternoon.
I understand.
My client it will just be a continuance. I've already discussed it with the state attorney and my client, so we can use language line this afternoon. It won't be a difficult appearance.
Okay.
I believe Mr. Medina also has an appearance that requires an interpreter, but I think his is also a continuance.
Okay.
So
They're good.
we should be okay.
So you're good. Sorry.
My apologies, Your Honor.
No, I mean, you can only be in one place at one time. You can't be in 2 places at one time.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. You have a nice day.
Your Honor, this is going to be current Flores. She's on the docket for Mr. Peach, but Mr. Nelson is going to substitute.
Okay. Thank you.
He's also on the docket of the Travis Peach, public defender's office.
Hold on a second. There's another case. So we get Mr. Gates's.
Yeah. So I think Jeremy Keith has 2 case numbers, and then Travis has 2 other case numbers.
And Judge, let me know when to start.
Hold on just a second. Okay.
Judge, we announced last continuance in the cases that I had with Mr. Quiche during the last pretrial cycle. Since then, we've made great strides. The state has issued an amended offer. Mr. Flores has signed an agreement with Mr. Quiche. We're trying to make that agreement agreeable and to incorporate the cases that Mr. Gates has as well. If we could set this for docket day, I think we should have that hammered out, and I think plea continue would be appropriate.
This correct.
We'll continue this till docket day. I would note that you all announced last time. So I assume this.
My understanding is that it would be one of Mr. Keach's cases that would be set for trial, but then potentially have a plea agreement already reached. So it really is just my cases, and my cases are already for trial yet. I just need some time with Mr. Flores for him to figure out what he wants to do with the plea agreement.
And to be absolutely clear, Judge, the cases that we announced last time, we have the plea agreement. We're just trying to tweak it to incorporate things that we did in now. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I have confidence you all will work all of it out.
We've worked on this case.
I just spoke with Mr. Flores. He had hoped the state was going to consider amending the offer. I explained to him the state's position is they are not amending the offer. This was the best he was going to get. Given that, he's asking if we can go ahead and file a plea agreement that he signed with Mr. Keach. If we could do that, this may resolve all that and not need to come back on it.
Okay.
That's fine, Judge. And the plea agreement as written is a downward departure from his score.
Okay. So are we doing all 4 cases?
I believe so.
Are they 2 separate agreements?
I think they're all incorporated on one signed agreement. Is that?
Okay.
That does look correct to me.
Do we have an extra
And
copy for?
Your Honor, I've got, the court knows me well enough, I've got copies for everybody.
I appreciate it.
Sign that.
Oh, you're away from him.
Can the attorney's approach?
Sure.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
The Cottage Formalware, located at 648 North Wilson Street, has all your needs for looking your best. We have homecoming, prom, and pageant dresses. We have tux rental suits, vests, ties. Need something casual? We have that too. Shop Hometown First and visit us on Facebook at the Cottage Boutique and Formalware. We're located at 648 North Wilson Street. Call 850-682-2446.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida.
Your Honor, if Mr. Nopes will allow, I'll just announce the terms for all 4 cases.
I'm sure Mr. Nopes would appreciate that.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Flores is before the court in 22 CF 1539, 22 CF 1562, 22 CF 2481, and 24 CF 2485. In 24 CF 1539, count 1 is going to be actually pled at as trafficking in methamphetamines, 14 to 28 grams. Count 3 will be lesser included offense of trespassing in an unoccupied dwelling, and I do believe count 2 of that information will be dismissed in exchange for a plea to the charges. Count 22 CF 1562 is the plea is charged. I'm just making sure everything else, count 1. And then in 22 CF 2481, as charged in grand theft auto, and 22 CF 2485, lesser included offense of resisting without violence, and as charged in count 2. He'll be adjudicated guilty in all counts and cases, And then 22 CF 1539, count 1, which is a felony count. It's going to be 48 months DOC, with the first 3 months is a 36-month minimum mandatory sentence with credit for all time served. No probation to follow. That sentence will run concurrent with 22 CF 1562, 22 CF 2481, and 22 CF 2485. And the plea agreement shows that count 2 of that information has been dismissed. Flipping to the next page, count 3 will be time served. That was a misdemeanor count. And 22 CF 1562, count 1, again, 48 months Department of Corrections, credit for all time served, no probation follow. Sentence runs concurrent with 22 CF 1539, 22 CF 241, and 22 CF 2485. There is a $5,000 fine in 22 CF 1539, $100 cost of prosecution, $150 public defender fee, and then the standard cost in the other cases. And then in my case,
Hold on a second.
Yeah, sure.
What was the mandatory fee in 1539?
It's a $50,000 fine.
Okay, okay.
That
It's here, I wasn't tracking it.
Yes, Your Honor. It's
Okay.
statutorily required.
Okay, that's fine, I see it now, thank you.
And then in 22 CF 2481, it's going to be 42 months Department of Corrections with credit for all time served. That's concurrent to each count and case. No probation follow. Standard court cost. I have a $150 public defender fee, Your Honor, but given he's already paid one $50 application fee, that actually should be a $100 public defender fee.
Which one is that on, what case?
22 CF 2481. Mr. Keach assessed the $150 fee in 22 CF 1539. And because there's a $50 application fee in that, I won't need it.
Only $100,
Yes,
okay.
Your Honor.
Got it, I changed that.
Reserved over any restitution to Miss Brittany Martin. Mr. Flores would ask for 24 months from a date of release to pay any outstanding fees and restitution. And 22 CF 2485, count 1, which is misdemeanor, it's going to be time served. Count 2, 42 months Department of Corrections with credit for all time served. Concurrent to each count and case. Standard court cost, public defender fee, and again 24 months to pay those fees.
I think that there was, I just noticed a mistake on the agreement, Judge. He's not pleading to 14 to 28 grams of meth. He's pleading to 4 to 14 grams of meth.
I will point out that that's Mr. Keach's portion, not mine.
And the reason that's significant,
So, Mr.
Judge,
Nopes, I'm going to hand this back to you and let you correct that.
Simply say the difference is a
This
7-year man
needs
versus a
to be
3-year
correct right
man.
there. It should be 4 to 14. Go ahead.
The significance of that is if he were to plead to 14 and 28, it'd be a 7-year man. That's not what he's pleading to. He's getting a 3-year man based on the weight here. So, and everything wouldn't match otherwise. Can you show it to Ms. Bates?
Thank you. Show it to you, show it to you.
Instead of 14, but I told him it's 4 to 14.
Okay. With that correction, is the state in agreement?
We are.
You said that this was a downward departure?
It is a downward departure from his score, Judge, based on a negotiated plea agreement.
Very good. So, Mr. Flores, would you raise your right hand, sir? I need to ask you a few questions. Do you swear or affirm that the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Slide over and speak into that mic so I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, you actually have 2 attorneys because you've got 4 separate cases, and 2 of them are with each attorney. So you've got basically 2 attorneys. And so I'm asking you questions concerning all of these cases in one. The main thing I want to do is 2 things. I want to make sure that you understand the details, and there's a lot of details here, a lot of legal stuff that affects you. Make sure you understand the legal issues here, and that you're entering into this freely and voluntarily. That's the whole purpose of my questions to you. Okay, so my first question is, you heard your attorney state the terms of the plea agreement, and I see that all those terms of all 4 cases are contained in the plea agreement that you've signed. So have you read this closely?
Yes,
And have you gone over it in detail with both of your attorneys to make sure you had all your legal questions answered about it?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like you understand this plea agreement here today?
Yeah, I understand it.
Okay, you understand? Good. That's what I want to hear. So you understand, importantly, by entering in this, I'm sure you've gone over with your attorney, but I need to ask you, you're waiving some valuable legal rights by entering into this agreement. You got a bunch of constitutional rights that nobody thinks about until they're in your situation, but you got the right to force the state to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt and to go to trial and to a jury of your peers. You're waiving all of that in order to have a final resolution as contained in this written plea agreement. Is that what you want to do here today?
Yes, sir.
You believe that's in your best interest?
Sure, yes, sir.
You guess? You don't want to guess. I'm not accepting a guess. I want you to be clear. I don't want,
I'm sure.
if you waffle, when you're sitting over in DOC, I don't want you to be like questioning why you did this. I want you to be clear going in what's going on so that you do this case and accept it, that it's in your best interest to do it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is there a legal basis for this case, for this agreement? Okay. Okay. Mr. Flores, based upon that testimony, the court will accept your plea. And the court will sentence you as follows. With regards to all counts and cases, there'll be an adjudication of guilt on each of these charges.
Your Honor, I apologize. When you asked for a factual basis for the plea, I didn't hear the defense attorneys confirm as well, and I just want to make sure that we're good for appeal reasons.
Factual basis as far as my case is concerned, Your Honor.
Based upon the representation from Mr. Keach, I think there's a factual basis.
Very good, thank you. If there's anything else I'm missing in this colloquy, feel free to jump in.
Thank you.
There's no DNA evidence of plaintiff's operation either, Your Honor.
Okay, actually I was going to ask that, so thank you. So there'll be an adjudication of guilt on all counts and cases. In 22 CF 1539 as to count 1, the defendant is sentenced to 48 months in the Department of Corrections. This sentence includes a 3-year mandatory minimum sentence. You will get credit for all time served since the your arrest on June 13th, 2022. There'll be no probation to follow this sentence. This sentence will run concurrently with the other 3 cases, which are 22 CF 1562 and 22 CF 2481 and 22 CF 2485. Count 2 of 22 CF 1539 is being dismissed by the state. And count 3 of 22 CF 1539 is you're being sentenced to time served. In 22 CF 1562 is to count 1, the defendant is sentenced to 48 months in the Florida Department of Corrections. Again, credit for all time served since the arrest on June 13th, 2022. No probation to follow. And the sentence runs concurrently with the other 3 cases. Actually, all of these charges are being served concurrently. Okay, so that means they're served at the same time. So your maximum sentence is the 48 months with credit for time served, but that's your maximum because there are several of those on here. In 22 CF 1539, the defendant is assessed a $50,000 fine based on the large trafficking count. $100 cost of prosecution, $150 legal assistance fee, 22 CF 1562. There are $615 in court costs, $100 legal assistance fee, and all these obligations, all the financial obligations on all these will be reduced to a judgment, okay? In 22 CF 24881, the court is sentencing the defendant to 42 months DOC with credit for all time served, again concurrent with each count and each case, no probation to follow. And in addition, there's $515 in court cost, $100 public defender fee. There'll be a reservation of any restitution to Mr. Brittany Martin.
Should be Miss Brittany Martin of that.
I'm sorry?
Should be Miss Brittany Martin of that,
Ms. Brittany. So she would have to file something, not she, but the state would have to file something, and you would have the right to contest that, Ms. Flores. So the defendant would have 24 months from the date of, okay, a little bit of a conflict here.
Yes, Your Honor.
You want this going to a lien, or you want 24 months?
If he gets it done to pay, Your Honor, and
Once you scratch out the civil lien, we'll go. So I said before, I was sentencing you to all the fees and costs would go immediately to a civil lien. The court is actually going to provide you 24 months after your release to pay all these fees and costs and fines, and then they'll go to a lien, okay? And then lastly, in 22 CF 2485, count 1, you'll get credit for all time served. Count 2, again, sentenced to 42 months DOC with credit for all time served, concurrent to each count and case. And again, $615 in court costs, $100 public defender fee, and you'll have 24 months from release to pay the outstanding fees and restitution. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, even though you've just entered into this plea agreement, you've just been sentenced, you do have 30 days to appeal this if you wish to do so, but you must do it within 30 days. It'll expire. You're right to do that, okay?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Let's go to the next case I've got from Mr. Keach, is Philip Lee.
Judge, I've spoken with Mr. Keach about this case. Mr. Lee was sentenced to I'll wait till.
Go ahead.
Can the attorneys approach?
Sure.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
So the state has requested, there's some discussions going on in this case, so we'll come back on docket day, which is this Monday at 6:17 for docket day, figure out where we're going with this case. Thank you.
Did Mr. Keach now also cover for Jason Cobb? We have 2 cases on the docket as well.
Okay.
He's going to pull it out.
Okay.
Junior, Meritt, are you covering for anyone else?
Yeah, I don't think so. I told him I was covering for Cobb.
You told me you were waiting on confirmation.
It's all right. Who do we have coming up?
Ms. Marcus has 2 out of custody. If you, I think.
That's fine, we can do that.
The only privates I think we have left are Mr. Tevin and Mr. Henderson, and they both have inmates that were not transported.
You're not.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay. So then we'll do yours next, Mr. Tony, and then The others, if they haven't been transported, we can do them right away.
Yes, sir.
We'll do Ms. Farkas is out of custody. Let me.
I'll be very quick, Your Honor.
That's all right.
I have Winter Cutter, 2023 CF 1373.
I'm sorry, what's the last name?
Cutter, Cutter. She is present and approaching.
Very good.
Your Honor, the state and the defense have worked out an agreement in this case. If I may approach with the
You may.
agreement.
Thank you. Would you announce the agreement?
In this case, there are 3 counts. There will be an adjudication of guilt in all 3 counts, 1, 2, and 3, with credit for all time served, $615 in court costs, $150 public defender fee, and 180 days to pay those costs.
State.
That's the state's agreement.
Ms. Cutter, would you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement. It's in the written plea agreement you've signed. Have you gone over this in detail with your attorney? You understand there'll be an adjudication of guilt on these. You'll get credit for time served. They'll all run concurrent. You've got the standard court costs and 180 days to pay.
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
understand you're waiving the right to go to a trial, contest all this?
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
believe this is in your best interest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Based upon that testimony, the court will accept your plea. There'll be an adjudication of guilt on each of the 3 counts. The defendant will get credit for all time served. That's her sentence, and they would obviously run concurrently. Standard fees and costs contained in here that you've got 180 days to pay. Do we have a score sheet?
I do, Your Honor. I'm getting it right now. Apologies.
This is not a downward.
Yes, that's correct.
Yep.
Thank you. State's in agreement, defense is in agreement on the score sheet?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
All right, right up here, man.
Oh, sorry. Your Honor, I'd like to call a client who, her name is Sheree Sorel. She's not on the docket today. She was actually on the docket Monday, and she got confused about her court date. She arrived this morning. She's here. I spoke with the state about this case. Ms. Sorel has never missed a court date, ever. If we could recall the capias and set for the next court date, I believe we had discussed that the next one would be the last one. This is not normal behavior, Ms. Sorel.
State.
Oh, sorry, I don't know what that was. She has a co-defendant. It's, Your Honor, the state doesn't object to that.
Court will withdraw the capias, and we'll come back on 8/12.
Thank you.
Okay, at 9 a.m. Be in touch with your attorney in the interim, okay? Is that all you got? Mr. Tony, come on.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
We have beat one matter before the court today, State of Florida versus Shea Patrick Jones in 2022.
Correct.
CF 1104. Mr. Jones is not transported, so we're gonna have to just schedule again for the next plea day.
Okay. What's going on with the case?
Well,
why wasn't he transported? He didn't.
He's in other institutions. I don't know what bail.
Oh, he's
Santa
not here?
Rosa.
He's in Santa Rosa?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I guess we just have to set it for a plea day, your next example of plea day.
Okay. I mean, we gotta get.
We've had this case worked out for about 6 months, and every time we have him transport, something happens. So we're,
Okay. So when would you, we can do it on, you tell me when you want to do it. You want to do it the next miscellaneous?
She's prosecuting this matter.
I'm sorry?
I have to get with the state. She's, Ms. Sandler, she's
Your Honor, Ms. Sandler advised that Mr. Tony's correct. There's been a plea agreement for a little while. They've been having trouble getting him transported. Ms. Sandler said if he's not transported, could we set him for tomorrow afternoon? I don't know that he's going to be transported by tomorrow afternoon, so I don't know if we want to set him tomorrow.
Somebody's got to tell me when he's going to be transported. Mr. Tony certainly doesn't have the authority to do that. So I'm asking the state, when can you get the defendant over here and we'll get him? Any miscellaneous day, any docket day, I don't care, I'll do it. If he's been waiting 6 months, What's the plea? Is it?
It's the.
It's not, is it I mean, would he get out of jail?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
He's waiting to be sentenced in federal court.
That's correct.
So, and he always.
So just tell me when to do it. I don't want to keep dragging Mr. Tony here either. I'm sure he's got plenty of clients he's trying
Mr.
to.
Tony, can you be here on docket day on Monday next month?
I don't, the 17th? No.
No?
No.
Your Honor, could we say him for the 18th then? I know Your Honor has a miscellaneous date that day. Might we?
I don't have anything on the 18th yet.
June 18th in the morning. We don't have that many cases, do we, on that? June 18th at 9 a.m. Is that okay, ma'am? Ma'am, we're not too bad, are we? That's okay. 6/18 at 9 a.m.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okey-doke.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Tony. Okay. Do we have any?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Mr. Cobb, that's right.
Jason Cobb's out here.
This is going to female first.
Judge, he tells me that he filed a motion to continue the Zuniga case. He's caught up into a murder trial in Walton County this week.
This is a brand-new case anyway, so.
It is, Your Honor. This-
Court will
no-
continue this till 8/14.
8/14?
Correct.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
And then, I'm sure he'll come talk to you. Judge, Mr. Gaskin's case, he's asked to leave set for docket day, which is June 17th.
Very good. We'll continue this until docket day, which is next Monday, June 17th.
Thank you, Judge.
I think that's all the private counsel.
I just snuck in, Judge.
I see that.
I only got 2 cases.
Hold on a second. Let me come to you. Let me get your cases up. Also, Mr. Henderson, didn't Mr. Nope say he was covering Mr. Henderson?
Judge, I did not, Judge. You're not doing that to me. I gotta leave.
I thought you had left already. Seriously, did somebody say they were covering for Mr. Henderson?
Your Honor, I saw Mr. Harsher briefly. I don't know if he's still.
Not Mr. Harsher, Henderson. Well,
Mr. Harsher worked for Mr.
yeah, I understand. Is he here?
He was not transported.
Judge, Mr. Harsher's here for Mr. Henderson. He stepped out.
Okay, we'll come back. Thank you.
They have some inmate shuffle on the got you, sir, or bring RC clients up. He said-
Before who?
RC clients. All the private attorney clients are done except for Mr. Nichols.
Okay. Do we have Mr. Nichols? They weren't transported?
They were transported, yes, sir.
But they're not ready?
He is here, Mr. Nichols
Is
right
here?
there.
He just came up. Come on up, Mr. Nichols.
Right. Maybe it shouldn't take very long, Judge.
Sure. Once we get through with Mr. Niddle, we will take.
He went downstairs to take the last few down, and he said in a couple of minutes.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and I was going to take a short break. So we'll take that short break. We'll do Mr. Niddle when we get back, and then we'll jump right into and try and get as much of Mr. Harper's as we can.
All rise.
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as one of the top 100 civil trial lawyers in the state of Florida, and Dixie is AV preeminent rated. Dixie Dan Powell works tirelessly for his clients, as is evident by this extraordinary verdict. If you're taking your case to trial, be prepared. Contact Dixie Dan Powell and Powell Injury Law, 850-306-2667.
Backroom Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestvew's historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Pretrial Realty. Helping qualifying heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestvew's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestvew's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com. CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
Man, I got this. Let's roll.
Fight fire with fire, take 1.
Have you been injured in an accident and need righteous representation? Call us, because we fight fire. Fire. Damn thing ain't working. Whoa! Not cool, bro.
I'm attorney Coy Browning. Personal injury is no joke. Just ask him.
Injured? Take a breath. Call Coy.
Check out the soaps, bath bombs, and other bath and body products.
all made by hand with natural ingredients at Hub City Soapery. Visit us at 1092 North Verdon Boulevard in Crestview or shop online at hubcitysoapery.com. Hub City Soapery.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestviewagent.com.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
For years, I proudly served Florida as a state trooper. During that time, I investigated over 1,000 car, motorcycle, and trucking crashes. My mission was simple, to help the victims. Now, as an injury attorney, I can do even more to help accident victims. Hi, I'm attorney Coy Browning. If you've been injured in a car accident, I'd be honored to help you. Call or visit us at browninglawfirm.com.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
The Cottage Formalware, located at 648 North Wilson Street, has all your needs for looking your best. We have homecoming, prom, and pageant dresses. We have tux rental suits, vests, ties. Need something casual? We have that too. Shop Hometown First and visit us on Facebook at the Cottage Boutique and Formalwear. We're located at 648 North Wilson Street. Call 850-682-2446.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie